Hello, Elite 32. This is Michael, and we are in Focus on Grammar 4, Unit 3, Exercise 5. And this is editing. Now, editing is great because when you edit, you look for ways to make the writing better. And we all want our writing to be better, right? Of course, right. Now, in this case, we're doing a kind of editing that is called proofreading. And in proofreading, you look for mistakes. So let's read our instructions. It tells us, read these comments to the online article about hobbies on page 33. There are 9 mistakes in the use of the simple past, the present perfect, and the present perfect progressive. The first mistake is already corrected. Find and correct 8 more. Okay, so this is beautiful. We know exactly what kinds of errors we're looking for, and we know exactly how many mistakes we need to find. Now, this kind of task is really important. It's very valuable for you because if you can find the mistakes in someone else's writing, you can find the mistakes in your own writing. But if you can't find the mistakes in someone else's writing, you might have trouble finding your own mistakes. So we all want to be strong editors. Let's get going. It tells us, of course, very first sentence starts out with an error. The original, I am cooking since I was in elementary school. And it should be, I've been cooking since I was in elementary school. How do we know that? Is something wrong with I am cooking? That's present progressive. Yes, but present progressive is something that it suggests action that is happening right now, or maybe a short-term situation like I have been attending MJC for the last 2 semesters. Something. Well, actually, even that. No, it would need to be something. I am attending MJC right now. But for something that started at an earlier time and is still going on, we want the present perfect progressive. I've been cooking since I was in elementary school. When I was 10 years old, my mother has taught me how to make simple things such as fried eggs and chicken salad. All right, did you see the mistake? Because it's when I was 10 years old. Presumably, I'm not in 10 years old anymore. So I want to, excuse me while so I need to change this has taught, because this happened, presumably way back in the past. And so what it should be, instead of, I'm fiddling with my technology here, instead of my mother has taught, it should be my mother taught. Okay, simple past. My mother taught me how to make simple things such as fried eggs and chicken salad. Then we moved on to more complicated meals. I've always been loving to cook as a way to relax and be creative. Okay, we don't want I have always been loving. We're going to make this not progressive, but just present perfect. So we'll say, I have. You can use the contraction, say, I've always loved. With the, have the adverb in there. I've always loved to cook as a way to relax and be creative. Lately, I've been trying my hand at baking too. Michael, what does it mean to try my hand? And I think this is fine. The present perfect progressive is fine there. To try your hand, I'll just put this over here. try your hand or to try my hand means to experiment with something new, some kind of new activity. To do something different in your life. Lately, okay, yes, I just read that one. Last month, I made my first strawberry cheesecake. Okay, it was last month, so simple past is appropriate. By the way, you'll never write this in an academic paper, in a formal paper, just a common contraction for by the way. By the way, I've been reading the Nutmegs 7 blog several times. Wait. Several times. I've been reading it several times. Several times indicates a finished activity. So we won't use the present perfect progressive. We'll just make it simple past. So I have been reading, I should show the mistake. I've been reading, we'll change that to I've read the Nutmeg 7 blog several times. You're right, it's incredible. And now we have another person, we have Claudia, who says, I've been passionate about do-it-yourself since several years. Wait, since several years? No. Since, we use that to indicate if we're going to give the starting point. So I've been passionate about this since last year or since 2019 or whatever. But several years is a duration. So I need to change that to 4. So since several years, I'm going to change that to 4 several years. DIY, which is do it yourself, gives me an alternative to spending lots of money in stores. So spending, this is a gerund. I know it's a gerund because it's the object of a preposition, an alternative to spending lots of money in stores. This is the only verb form that can be the object of the preposition. I have taken a knitting class last year. Whoops. Last year, this indicates a completely finished activity, so I want to make that simple past. So I have taken a knitting class. I'm going to change that to I took a knitting class. I took a knitting class last year, and since then, I made a hat, a scarf, and gloves for my boyfriend. Okay, since then, now we're talking about more recent activities, and so this, it would be more appropriate to make it present perfect. Now we have Mike, why present perfect, not present perfect progressive? Well, it looks like these 3 projects are all finished. Presumably the hat, scarf, and gloves, she's not working on them all at the same time, but first she made the hat, then she made the scarf, then she made the gloves. And you're pointing back to last year when she started. So these are things that she made one, and then she made another, and then she made another. She made a hat, etc. To I have made a hat. and the other things. Now let's see, could we make it simple past? The present perfect really is a better choice for this. Because we're talking about referring to an event that happened last year, and now actions that 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 continue to be relevant for what we're doing now. So I have made a hat, a scarf, and gloves for my boyfriend. My current do-it-yourself project is all about upcycling. Last week, my roommate gave me all of her old magazines, and I've been creating a sculpture from them. I haven't finished the sculpture yet, but it's going to be beautiful. All right, so we have an interesting sentence here. Okay, last week, so that's past, she gave me her magazines. Simple past, that makes sense. But what about the next clause? I've been creating a sculpture from them. Do you want present perfect progressive? Well, we're not quite sure. In this sentence, we're not quite sure about the time, but let's continue and look at the next sentence. I haven't finished the sculpture yet. So present perfect progressive, which suggests a continuing action, something that is still in progress, present perfect progressive is appropriate here. So I don't need to change that. Let's get on and take a look at the last piece. This is fanboy. No one has mentioned video games yet. So has mentioned, present progressive, not yet. My friends and I have been playing Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe since this semester has started. Okay, the present perfect progressive is fine, but the start of the semester, that's the start. That is a point in time. It happened just in a short period. That's the way start usually is. So we're going to change that from present perfect to simple past. So this semester has started. I'm going to change that to this semester started. We enjoy the challenge. And here's something interesting. I was a fan of Pokemon all my life. In my opinion, there's nothing better than Pikachu. All right, so his opinion is current. He still holds this opinion. So we'll change, the simple past to the present perfect, because he is still, he became a fan. He is still a fan, and so it's the information is still current. So I was a fan. We'll change that to I have been a fan. All right, and that is, I think that's the end. Just checking the top of the next page. All right. So we needed to find and correct 8 more. How many did we find? 1, 2, I should have been numbering these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we found all 8 of them. Great. And I hope you found them too. And I hope that this has been helpful for you. That's the end of this video.